Jai Hind. The topic which we are going to discuss today is ER diagram, which has been stated in Unit 1 of the subject KCA 204, that is DBMS. These are the contents which we are going to discuss. What is entity? What is the meaning of relationship in a ER diagram? Then the components of the ER diagram, that is entity, relationship, various kinds of attributes. Then in the relationship we are going to discuss what is the meaning of degree, mapping cardinality, relationship, participation. Then we are going to discuss different keys which we need to show in an ER diagram, symbols of the ER diagram, and a use case. So basically, what is a database? We have already seen what is a database. So if we define database in terms of ER diagram, then we could say it is a collection of entities and the collection of relationship among entities. That is how one entity is related to another entity if there exists a relationship among them. Okay, then we define the database according to that. So a database, it can be illustrated with the help of ER diagram. So basically, when we talk about the ER diagrams, we are having various symbols with the help of which we are going to draw the ER diagram, just like your flow chart. You are having various symbols to show the flow of data. Similarly, in the ER diagram, to show the entity, relationship, and other elements of a database, we have different symbols. So the very first symbol, if we say, then it is a rectangle. So a rectangle, basically it show the entity within a relationship, within a ER diagram. So what is a entity? If we look at this following ER diagram, customer is an entity and a loan is a entity. If he is borrowing some loan, these are the two entities in the in this particular use case. If we talk about the use case of a college, then in that case, student may be the entity, then faculties, they may be the entity, then marks, they may be the entity. The next very important symbol is a diamond, which show the relationship between these two entities. So how these two entities are related among themselves? Customer is related with the loan with the help of borrower, that is customer is borrowing loan. Then the lines, they show the link attributes to entity sets and entity sets to relationship sets. So we are having the these lines we draw between entity to attribute or entity to the relation. What is an attribute? Attribute is nothing. These are the features of that particular entity, or you could say how the things is being stored, the information is being stored of that particular entity. Then in this case, customer, we are having the customer ID, customer name, customer address. In the case of the loan, we are having loan number and the amount. So attributes, they are being shown with the help of ellipse. We are having two kinds of symbols in ellipse. One is a double and another is your single ellipse. So the double ellipse, it generally represent multi-valued attribute, which we will study later on. Similarly, we are having another, that is your dashed, which denote derived attribute. And if we show a attribute with a single oval shape ellipse, then in that case it is a simple or a normal attribute. If you look at the figure, few of the attributes, they have been underlined. These two attributes, they have been underlined. So why they have been underlined? Because these two attributes, they are being recognized as keys in these two different entities. So what is a key, which we are going to discuss later on? For a time being, key is nothing. It is that attribute with the help of which you are going to uniquely identify the row. For instance, in the case of the student, roll number may be the attribute, and it is a key in a student database with the help of which we are going to uniquely identify a particular student. So what is an entity set? An entity, which we have seen earlier, it is an object that exists and is distinguishable from other objects. For example, a specific person, company, event, plant, animal, shape, and so on. These entities, they have attributes. That is how we are going to define these entities. So every entity is going to must have attribute. For example, people have names and addresses. Then if we talk about the company, it might have the address, location, region, country code, and so on. In the case of the plant, we could have species, then subspecies, and so on. So the entity set, it is a set of entities of the same type that share the same features or the properties. So in the case of a specific person, if we say it is an entity, but if we group different persons together, then it becomes entity set. Similarly, if we say plant, it is a single entity, but if we say trees, then it becomes a combination of different plants or a group of different plants, then it becomes trees. Then in the case of the company, we could have different company. For example, all the energy sector companies, then in that case we are having different companies, but they are within the same domain, that is the energy sector. Then in that case it is a entity set. So here we are having entity sets, which we have seen earlier in the figure. One is customer and another one is your loan. So here we are having the customer entity and this is my loan entity. So these are the different, you could say, rows or the values corresponding to different persons in that particular entity. Attribute, it is an entity which is represented, every entity is represented by a set of attributes, that is descriptive properties, which can be possessed by all the members of an entity set. For example, in a customer, we could have customer ID, customer name, loan number, amount. In the case of the, if I say shape, then in that case we could have the attribute sides, angles. And if we are talking about other geometrical properties, then other geometrical properties, it might become its attribute. So what is a domain? It is the set of permitted values for each attribute. For example, in the case of the customer ID, we could say it always assumes an integer value starting from 1 to 1000 or 10,000, depending upon the strength of the company. The customer ID can never be 0. So when we talk about the domain, or it could never be negative. So in the case of the customer ID, what is the permitted value? What is the domain? That is your integer values, positive integer values. Attribute types, we are having these 3 types of attributes: simple and composite attribute. Simple attribute, that is, for example, your customer ID. It is a simple attribute. Clear? Then we are having the composite attribute. That is a composite attribute, that is, it is a combination of certain attribute to consider it a single attribute. For example, your mobile number. So mobile number, it might start with 9xxxx and so on. So if I say this is my country code and this is my mobile number, but if we are talking about this as a whole, then it becomes a composite attribute. Then we are having a single valued and multi-valued attribute. Single valued, that is that attribute can assume only a single value. For example, your city, it can be a single, you cannot be a customer city. It can be it is not possible that the customer is from two different cities, whereas in the case of a phone number, a person could have multiple phone numbers available. It could be landline, it could be two mobile numbers, and so on. So in this case, phone number is a multi-valued attribute. Derived attribute, that is which we are deriving from other attributes. For example, age, if we are given the date of the birth, then we can calculate the age. So we have earlier seen composite attribute. Another example is your name. It is made up of first name, middle name, and the last name. In the case of the address, it could be street, city, state, postal code. In some database, we are requiring to store the address with all the details as a single unit, whereas in few of the database, we need to show them as different attributes: street, city, state, and so on. So in this diagram, ER diagram, it is just showing the composite, multi-valued, and derived attribute. So here, this is your multi-valued, and how we have shown the multi-valued attribute? With the help of two ellipses, double ellipses, you could say. Date of birth, it is my normal attribute. In this case, age had been shown with the help of the dotted line. So this is my derived attribute. So and how we are going to show the composite attribute? This is the way to show the composite attribute, that the customer is having the name, and this name, it is comprises of first name, middle name, and the last name. Similarly, address, street, city, state, zip code. This street is further being comprised of street number, street name, apartment number, and so on. Now the other important thing which we show, which we need to show in a ER diagram, is the meaning of the weak entity and the regular or strong entity. So what is weak entity and what is a strong entity? Weak entity, it is an entity whose existence depend on some other entity. For example, we are having two entities. One is a student and another one is your marks. So in this case, student is a strong entity, whereas in this case, marks, it depends upon the entity student for its existence. So this becomes your strong entity. Sorry, this need to be shown with the help of rectangle. So the existence of a weak entity set depends on the existence of a identifying entity set. So student, this becomes the identifying set for marks. It must relate to the identifying set via a total one-to-many relationship set from the identifying to the weak entity set. For example, employee dependents might be weak. For example, in a company database, we are having the employee, and another important entity, for instance, we are also keeping the track of dependents or the family members of the employee. So in this case, employee, it becomes a strong entity set. Here, dependent, it becomes a weak entity set. For its existence, we do need this particular entity set. A weak entity type can be related to more than one regular entity type. How we are going to show the weak entity set? To show a weak entity set, we use the double rectangle. That is, if we say, then it need to be shown in this form. The identifying relationship is depicted using a double diamond. This is also very important. That is, if we are having a weak entity set, and this weak entity set, if when we showing a relationship with the strong entity set, then in that case the relation need to be shown with the help of double diamond. So in this particular ER diagram, we are having the loan, we are having the payment, and this is the loan payment relationship. In the case of the loan, we are having loan number and amount. Payment, that is how much payment has been done so far corresponding to that particular loan number. So we are having here payment number, payment date, payment amount, and so on. So if we say payment, for its existence, it requires this particular entity, that is loan. It need to be there. Now the next important thing is relationship sets. So a relationship is an association among several entities which we have seen. So in here if we are having Hayes, then it is a customer entity. A102, it is my account entity. And depositor, it is my relationship set. So if we go by the mathematical depiction, then a relationship set is a mathematical relation among n greater than or equal to 2 entities, each taken from the entity set. That is, these entity sets, E1 belonging to your entity 1, then E2, this is my relationship set, and then En. So where E1, E2, En is a relationship. This is my relationship. For example, if I talk about the above example, then in that case, Hayes and A102, it belong to the relationship, that is depositor. This is another example of the relationship set borrower. For example, we are having a customer and loan. This is how the relationship has been shown from between this between this value to this particular field. So an attribute relationship sets में an attribute can also be a property of a relationship set. Sometimes the relationship, they can have the attribute also. For example, here the depositor, it is having its own attribute, that is access date. For instance, the depositor relationship set between entity set customer and account may have the attribute access date, that is on which date the customer has accessed its account number. Degree of a relationship set, it refers to a number of entity sets that participate in a relationship set. So a relationship set that involves 2 entities, it is termed as binary or degree 2. Generally, most relationship sets in a database systems, they are binary. And sometimes they may involve more than 2 entity set. For example, employee of a bank may have jobs or responsibility at multiple branches with different jobs at different branches. Then there is a ternary relationship set between entity sets, employee, job, and branch. So a relationship between more than 2 entity set, they are rare. Mostly it is binary. So here if you look, we are having 3 entities, employee, job, and branch, and they are connected with the help of a single relationship, that is work on. The employee is having its own set of attributes, branch is having its own set of attributes, similarly job is having its own set of attributes, but the relationship which has been shown here, it is a ternary relationship. Some relationships that appear to be non-binary may be better represented using binary, because the binary relationship, they can be very useful when we are going to understand the database. So we generally go for the binary relationship. Example, a ternary relationship, parents relating a child to his, her father and mother is best replaced by 2 binary relationships, that is father and mother. So using two binary relationship allows a partial information. Example, only mother being known. Whereas with the ternary relationship, what is happening? It is showing the full picture. That is how a single child is being related to two person, and who is father and who is mother. But if we convert a ternary relationship into a binary relationship, then sometimes the data is being lost. So with the help of a binary relationship, we could only recognize that this is the mother of a child or this is a father of a child. So using two binary relationships allow the partial information, but there are some relationships that are naturally non-binary, for example, works on. Now the next important thing is roles. So the entity sets of a relationship need not be distinct. So here where we need to show the role, where the relationship is existing between the same entity. For example, here the works for, it is related with the single entity employee. So we need to recognize that is who is acting as what. So in this case, we need to give the roles to the employee. So here we are having the employee works for, at that time the role is worker, and works for to whom this worker has been assigned, then in that case the role becomes manager. So roles, they are indicated in ER diagram by labeling the lines. That is, we need to label the lines that connect the diamond to the rectangles. Role labels are optional and are used to clarify the semantics of the relationship. Now the next important part when we draw a ER diagram, that is how we are going to map the cardinality. That is, express the number of entities to which another entity can be associated via relationship set. And it is generally being deployed in binary relationship set. We are having one to one, one to many, many to one, and many to many. One to one, that is only single element of A and B, they are related with each other. Whereas in the case of the one to many, a single element may be of set A may be related to multiple elements of set B. In the case of the many to one, many elements of a set A, they might be related to a single element of set B. Whereas in the case of the many to many, many elements of set A, it might be related to many elements of set B. So how we show the cardinality? We express the cardinality constraint by drawing either a directed line which signify one, or an undirected line which signify many. So if we consider this is our one to one. That is, here it is also one and here also it is one. But if we have the we are having a simple line like this, then in that case what we are having many to many. And if we are having a here we are having the single line, sorry, your directed line, and here we are having the undirected line, then in that case what we are having one to many. Example for the one-to-one relationship, a customer is associated with at most one loan via the relationship borrower. So a loan is associated with at most one customer via borrower. So we are having a one-to-one relationship. Whereas in the case of the one-to-many, what is happening? One-to-many, a loan is associated with at most one customer via borrower, and a customer is associated with several loans via borrower. In the case of the many to one, it is associated with several, including 0 customers via borrower. A customer is associated with at most one loan via borrower. So this is the relationship. This is my many to one relationship. Similarly, this figure is showing many to many. That is both the direction. We are considering the 0 possibility also. Can make access date an attribute of account instead of a relationship attribute if each account can have only one customer. That is, a relationship from account to customer is many to one, or equivalently customer to account is one to many. Relationship sets with attributes, which we have already seen. Depositor, it is having its own attribute, that is access date. Now the participation of an entity set in a relationship set. The participation, it could be my total participation or it could be my partial participation. Total participation, it is indicated by the double line. That is, in this case, every entity in the entity set participates in at least one relationship in the relationship set. For example, participation of loan in borrower is total. Every loan must have a customer associated to it via borrower. Whereas in the case of the partial participation, some entities may not participate in any relationship in the relationship set. Example, participation of customer in borrower is partial. So the customer, maybe there are certain loan numbers for which we are not having the customers, they are not having any loan sanctioned. So in that case, what is happening here? We are having the partial and here we are having the total participation. Next important thing is the key. So a super key of an entity set, it is a set of one or more attributes whose values uniquely determine each entity. And what is a candidate key of an entity set is a minimal super key. So the customer ID, it is a candidate key of customer, and the account number, it is a candidate key of account. Although several candidate keys may exist, but we need to recognize only one candidate key as a primary key. There is only single primary key, one and only one primary key in a entity. So the combination of primary keys of the participating entity sets forms a super key of a relationship set. For example, in this case, if we talk about the depositor, in this case, it is related to this particular entity and this particular entity. So we talk about the depositor, its key becomes, its candidate key becomes customer ID and account number. So it becomes a super key of the depositor. This means a pair of entity sets can have at most one relationship in a particular relationship set. Example, if we wish to track all access dates to each account by each customer, we cannot assume a relationship for each access. Then we can use a multi-valued attribute though. Must consider the mapping cardinality of the relationship set when deciding what are the candidate keys. This is very important that you need to see the cardinality first. Need to, because why we are saying, because the candidate keys, they are uniquely identifying the elements within an entity. Need to consider semantics of relationship set in selecting the primary key in case more than one candidate key is there. This is the ER diagram for a simple use case, that is a bank database. So what we are having the entities here, the bank is an entity, bank branch is an entity, loan is an entity, account is an entity, and the customer is an entity. And the relationships are, we are having branches, we are having account, loans and AC as well as LC. These are my relationships. This is my total participation, total participation, and this is my total, again the double line, we are showing the total participation, and with the single line we are showing the partial participation. Then here if we say this is my primary key, again this is my primary key, these are my primary key, and with the help of this, now this is another way to show the cardinality, that is one-to-one relationship or many-to-one relationship and so on. So these are the summary of the symbols. Entity set, for the weak entity set, attributes, multi-valued attributes, derived attribute. This is a relationship for showing the relationship between the strong and weak entity set. For the total participation, then for showing the underlining for the primary key, and discriminating attribute of the weak entity set. That is, if we are weak entities in a weak entity set, if we are having a primary key, then we always show with the help of a dotted line. Then we are having your undirected line for the many-to-many. This is for many-to-one. This is for one-to-one. Then this is for role name. total generalization is and disjoint generalization, which we are going to discuss later on. These are the alternative, that is in few books you will find these alternative symbols. Entities, they might be shown with the help of rectangle. So here we are E, and these are my attributes, and this is my primary attribute. That is, primary attribute is always shown at the top, and then it being distinguished with the rest of the attribute. Here for many to many relationship, we are using symbol star, asterisk for many. For one, we are directly writing the 1. Similarly, in some books you will find this for many, this symbol for many to many, for one no, and this is for many to one relationship. So these are the alternative ER notations. These are the books if you want to refer ER diagram for later study. Thank you and Jai Hind.